It's True Vault Escapades, starring Eric Huffman as Detective Walter Camry and Amy Harris as Bunny. Today's episode, A New Kind of World. We're last left with Detective Camry and his new counterpart Bunny in the desolate Texas wasteland fighting a pack of crazed ghouls, or monstrous former humans that have absorbed far too much radiation. Shortly after the firefight, Bunny leads the detective to the entrance of her mysterious underground community, better known as Vault 54. According to her, the people inside are in dire need of Walter's attention.
So your people somehow hold themselves inside of this vault?
Oh, heavens no, Detective. Their ancestors did.
Ancestors? What's that supposed to mean?
You'll find out sooner or later, Walter. Let's just hope we can get inside.
If you say so. To the left of us, right outside the gear-shaped vault, was some sort of flat computer poking out from the ground with a red flashing button. Each new discovery with this girl posed something far beyond your average wastelander's comprehension. And what kind of space-age technology is this, Bunny?
It's the control panel, Walter.
And what does that do?
It opens the vault, Walter.
And you expect me to know this? I don't know who you think you're talking to, sister, but it sure ain't me.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm just so used to being around my people for so long. I guess I keep forgetting that you're a wastelander's all.
It's fine, Bunny. It's just this is all happening so fast.
I know, Walter.
I wasn't the most scientifically gifted either, so I'm going to be asking a lot of questions around here. This isn't exactly what the average wanderer gets to see, you know.
I'll try to keep my head. Wasn't really easy building up the strength to head out of here for help either.
That took a lot of courage, Bunny. Spending your whole life locked up in there, and then just one day walk out into the wastes? That takes a tougher dame than I could imagine.
Oh, it was nothing. Well, are you ready, Detective?
To take a vacation from the wasteland? Absolutely.
Okay, then.
Within only a few seconds of her typing into the control panel, an alarm screeched as loud as the dickens, a warning that the enormous vault door would now be opening. It was intriguing yet blood-curdling. But one thing was for sure. This detective wanted to see what was inside.
Now, when you enter, Vault Security will probably have to pat you down, but no need to worry. They're real easygoing.
Put your hands up!
You better not miss, fellas.
Put that gun down before we make you, or get filled with lead, mate.
Trust me, fellas. I may not look like much, but I'm known for my trigger finger. And you boys look like small fry compared to the things that I've killed.
No, nobody's killing anyone.
Bunny? Is that you? We all thought you were dead out there.
Bunny, who are these two knuckle-draggers?
Officers Jensen and O'Neill, two of the Overseer's favorite guards, and just about as straight as a dog's hind leg, if you ask me.
Real funny, Bunny. But you ain't getting back in here without explaining who this joker is.
Who you calling a joker?
Look, this is Walter. Detective Walter. He's the one Overseer Mackenzie sent me out to find.
Wasteland folk, huh? Sure doesn't look like it.
Looks like a high society bloke from one of them pre-war movies.
And you say this is a detective?
Yes, they actually have investigators and law enforcement out there. Society in the outside world was depicted completely inaccurately in here.
What? Are you saying all those years of study were wrong?
Well, yes, but...
All right, ladies, stop your catfight. Now, I didn't come all the way down here to figure about egghead business. I want to know what's going on here.
I'm surprised it speaks in complete sentences.
Watch it, Buster.
Oh, please let him in, won't you? He's probably our only hope at saving us all.
I'll buy this shtick for now, Bunny. But that's only because I don't want you to feel like you wasted your time out there. Trust me, once the Overseer gets a hard enough look at him, he'll send him back to the cesspool from which he came.
Oh, thank you, Officer Jensen. Thank you.
I'm going to have to ask you to slowly toss that tidbit of artillery you're holding there, fella.
Sure. It wasn't even loaded to start with.
All right, you two. Stick behind me at all times, especially you outsiders. I don't want you saying a word to the residents without the official say-so from Overseer Mackenzie. Just having you enter the actual vault like this could risk our jobs.
All right, Mr. Detective. Walk behind Jensen, and I'll walk behind you. Bunny, Do your best to divert Vault attention away from our little guest here. Last thing we need is more confusion.
Understood. Come on, Walter. Overseer Mackenzie should fill you in with the details when we reach his office.
I'm taking your word for it, Bunny. Though my questions better be answered by the time I get there.
Don't worry. Mackenzie's a stuck-up guy, but he's reasonable. Unlike these two.
Let's just get moving before every wasteland detective marches his way in here.
It sure was interesting as it was frightening. We made our way through the vault door as those two boys in blue kept a close eye on me. The room where the standoff took place was pretty large, but a much smaller automatic door was waiting for us just behind it. It led to a long, dark passage with yet another door awaiting. But then, I was met with the most beautiful sight I've ever seen. A beautiful, clean, functioning society. I couldn't believe my eyes. Happy families. Men, women, children, and pets, all coexisting as one. Shops and homes at every corner. Now I see why Bunny was so uneducated about the wasteland. All these people, unaware about the world outside. I wish I could be in their shoes. They all wore the exact same jumpsuit Bunny wore, all with that big 54 on their backs. This place is pretty far from any incorporated settlements, so whatever their problem is, it has nothing to do with invaders. Do all of your people get told to point and stare? It's rude, you know.
Oh, they're just excited a VIP is being escorted through the vault. Don't mind them.
Shut your mouth, Walter. Just stay quiet until the Overseer has his say about you.
Your lungs are coated with that wasteland grime too. It is best you not exhale and contaminate this clean air.
Have I ever told you how nice I think you two boys are?
Shut your face, wise guy.
The elevator, right here.
Alright, we're here. Mackenzie's a stiff old guy, so 2 rules. Look him in the eye when he's talking to you. Only speak to him when spoken to. And don't say nothing stupid.
That's 3 rules, genius.
Shut it.
Please, Mr. Overseer, don't let those men hurt him. He's done nothing wrong so far. At least give him a chance.
Get back here, girlie.
Now, just what in the name of all things holy is going on here? Who is this man? Why are you barging into my office without any prior appointment?
I'm sorry this is all short notice, but you gotta understand the situation, see?
Just let us explain, sir.
No, they'll give him a bad name.
We said shut it, you harlot.
Nobody tells me what's going on in the next 3 seconds. I'll be forced to contact security that knows how to properly handle protocol and not burst into the Overseer's office without being called.
The thing is, sir...
So you're their leader, huh? Sure don't look like much, to be honest.
Did you not hear what I said?
And just who might you be? You don't seem like someone from around here.
'Cause I'm not. You got a smoke?
Sure, I've got some saved for a rainy day.
Imported Cuban. I've only seen those on the old pre-war billboards. Never actually had one before.
Oh, well, you must try one. They're simply amazing.
Different, but good. I like them.
Here, take 3 more. I hardly remember I have them half the time.
Thanks. So I'm told your people have a problem.
Yes, but again, who are you?
Camry. Detective Walter Camry of Camry Investigations, Carbon, Texas.
Oh, you must be the Outlander we've been waiting so long for.
Well, I couldn't have made it here without that girl the Australian has in a headlock.
Officer O'Neill, you unhand that girl at once.
But boss.
Now, O'Neill.
Overseer Mackenzie, she hit me.
Why, I never told you to bound and gag the girl like a kidnapping victim. She probably saved our lives with this man here. So whatever she did to you, you had coming.
Sir, with all due respect, we were just following orders.
Hmm?
The door opened, the guy pulled a gun on us.
Because you pointed guns at him.
Yes, but
Look, only a vault resident with special permission is given the password to the control panel. If you recognized Miss Bunny at first glance, you should have put yourselves at ease. What do you want to do, shoot her? Now get out, the both of you.
But boss,
Out! I'm terribly sorry for my men, Mr. Detective. They can be a little frantic, if you will.
Oh, it was no harm done. They're just doing their jobs. But I will say they're a little too free around you. Better for them to just follow orders instead of talking back.
Truer words have never been spoken, Mr. Camry, though they are some of the toughest men I have on the force. They just think since I appointed them as advisors, they can ease up around me. I'll have a chat with them soon enough.
Isn't it wonderful, Overseer Mackenzie? A true, honest, and hard-working detective from the outside. Oh, I knew there was hope after all.
Yes, I see that I was wrong, doubting you like that. I'm sure this place is awfully different than locations you've visited in your travels, Mr. Detective. Truthfully enough, we thought that life had been eradicated once the bombs had fell, those 200 years ago. Even if it did, I suspected it to be more barbaric than usual. Out of honesty, sir.
A common misconception, Mr. Overseer, is it?
Overseer Mackenzie. Mr. Mackenzie, if you will.
Nice to meet you, Mr. Mackenzie. I can assume you run this fine establishment you like to call Vault 54?
The pleasure is mine. This may be a late introduction, but yes, welcome to Vault 54. And yes, I do in fact run it.
I must admit, sir, this is beyond incredible. Never would I have thought of a community this secluded from the wasteland.
Yes, the wasteland. Tell me about it, will you?
Oh, it's just as you would imagine it. Little food, barely enough water, raiders, mutants, the list goes on and on. In short, it's a constant struggle for survival each day that rolls on by.
That's awful. I'm very sorry about how things turned out for humanity.
Yeah, it would have done us better if those bombs had just killed us all those years ago. It's not worth the squabble we're dealing with now. And this place, this is something of a dream to folks out there. It's quite the slice of heaven.
We do our best, Mr. Camry. Vault 54 has been up and running for ages. There's been no major incident or fault so far. That is, until now.
Well, that reminds me. Bunny tells me the whole reason of coming here is due to something dire happening to your people. I'm beyond sure you folks didn't want some wasteland VIP to get a tour of your clean house of chrome.
Ah, that. My plate's been so full, I've nearly forgotten about the issue at hand.
Tell him, Overseer. Tell him what's happening.
Please, Miss Bunny, control yourself. Sorry, Detective. She's been on this case since last month. It's gotten her quite on edge.
Case? What are you talking about?
She didn't tell you? You aren't the only investigator in this room.
So that's why you know your stuff so well. And why you're such a deadeye with that 45 of yours.
Sorry, Walter. I just had to make sure you were legit. I was about to tell you, but to be completely honest with you both, I felt like a free spirit out there in the wasteland. Like a normal girl. None of this darned undercover business weighing down my shoulders. Like the world was my oyster. And that's why, Mr. Overseer, why I think we should finally open the vault.
For goodness sakes, Bunny. Can it wait till tomorrow?
Can what? Wait, exactly.
It's the reason I had the girl look for you, Mr. Camry. She's clearly forgotten what the meaning of patience is.
I'm sorry, Overseer.
Please, unwind for the night, Detective. That dreaded walk in the wasteland probably did a number on your legs. I'll need you at full strength first thing in the morning.
That's only if you insist, Mr. Overseer. But that walk was nothing compared to the travels I've been through. So if your vault needs emergency attention now, best let me know while there's still time.
That'll do, Detective. I have other pressing matters to attend to tonight. All will be unfolded to you tomorrow.
I'll be here bright and early then.
That's great to hear. Bunny will show you to your room. Good night, Mr. Camry.
Yes. Good night, Overseer Mackenzie. Well, he's a piece of work, ain't he?
If those two knucklehead guards were right about one thing, it's that he's a stiff old guy.
He doesn't seem to care for you all that much.
Yes. He's had it out for me ever since I busted him for adultery in front of his poor wife. The case was a little too petty for my taste, but It was the overseer's spouse, so I really had no choice.
Really? Sure doesn't seem like one to go snooping around at his age.
He's an old sleaze. Tried using those lackeys of his, Jensen and O'Neill, to cover it up, but I was too smart for them. All Miss Mackenzie could do was file a divorce and be done with it. If she tried anything else, she'd be arrested because of his political standing. That man could destroy anyone he wanted to. Made me keep quiet about it, too, or it'd mean my job.
You're the best case man, aren't you? That's why he still uses you, right?
Bingo. Every time I think about ruining his oh-so-perfect reputation with the Vault citizens, I have to keep reminding myself who writes my checks.
The old keep your mouth shut and you get paid scenario. Can't go wrong there.
But I have a moral compass, Walter. I don't like keeping secrets from people. It just kills me on the inside each time I'm told to hide something or sugarcoat something.
It can be hard in this line of business, Bunny. Dirty politics have been around since the beginning of time, and they expect folks like us to carry out the deed.
Well, I can't take it anymore from Mackenzie. That's why never mind.
What is it?
It's what I was going to say earlier. But, like the man said, wait until morning. Darn it. We don't have time for all this waiting.
Well, whatever it is, it's definitely bothering you. I'll be sure not to be as chummy with him as I was today.
Thanks, Walter. And please, when he tells you what it is, think hard about it, will you?
You have my word, Private Investigator Bunny. After about a 5-minute walk down to the residential area of the 3rd floor, Bunny escorted me down a somewhat crowded hallway. Each side was filled with more metal doors leading to smaller houses. It was clear that I would be staying in one of these.
I apologize for the butt-to-gut space around here. It gets a little crazy after school lets out.
I'm just glad there's such a thing as school still. So is this where I'm gonna stay?
3rd room to the left.
Thanks, Bunny. A man couldn't ask for a better helper.
It was no trouble. I just hope.
What was that?
I don't know. Let's go check it out.
Those were definitely gunshots. It was hard to make out the attacker through the panicked crowd. Whoever it was, snuck his head a little ways past the corner of the hallway, his smoking gun pointing directly at us. Bunny, look out!
Eat lead, you monster!
I think you got him.
I'll chase him down. You make sure everyone is all right.
Roger.
Come out of your hole, you little rat!
When the crowd split the scene, I assumed everyone was okay as I surveyed the area. But I was wrong. When the chaos cleared, I saw a young man face down on the cold metal floor, and on his blue Vault jumpsuit were 3 large bullet holes. You there, young man. Speak to me, will ya? That's it. Say something. Who did this?
I don't know.
Well, do you have any idea why?
This...
Just then, the young man reached his quivering hand into his pocket. He pulled out a large campaign button and handed it to me. It looked as though it had been made by a political supporter. It read, "I support Bill 54 closed."
I received some threats, but I didn't take them seriously.
What does this mean? Hello? Hello?
I lost him, but he won't get far. Oh, no.
Poor boy. He just passed.
Why, that sick son of a...
Could you identify the killer?
No, he was wearing a bandana. But there's still hope.
How so?
The first shot missed, but the second one plugged him well. So as soon as he ran, he left a small trail of blood. All I have to do is run a sample by the medical ward, and they can transfer it to the police department, who will most likely make a match with it.
You can do that here?
Oh, you'd be surprised at what we can do.
One other thing. He said the reason he was shot was because he supports something called Bill 54 closed. Know anything about that? It's on this button here.
Oh, darn it. Not another one. Oh, and he's just a kid, too.
Another one?
Look, this part was supposed to wait until morning, but There's been a string of murders just like this one all around the vault. This is my first time actually seeing one, though.
What is this bill, Bunny?
It's too long to explain right now, Walter. Today's been a big day for you, even for a wastelander. Please, just drop it till tomorrow, will ya?
All right, Bunny. You just be careful. I don't want that lowlife shooting you up, too.
I will, Walter.
And get a constable to remove this body. Poor boy deserves a proper burial. And give his parents my condolences, too.
Cremation, Detective. There's no place to bury people here.
That's for sure. I can only hope Bunny gets a clear match on our perp. Until then, I was expected to relax in a cushy vault room all by myself. But how could I relax with what's going on? I thought the issue tomorrow was going to involve something petty. Maybe they wanted me to tell them about my experiences in the wasteland. I get my 10,000 caps and move on. No, this was homicide. And they were serious. The overseer was right about one thing. I needed my strength. So I locked the door tight and got ready for bed. Bunny said this was a big day for me, but tomorrow would be even bigger.
This has been another thrilling episode of True Vault Escapades. The part of Walter Camry was portrayed by Eric Huffman, and the part of Bunny was portrayed by Amy Harris. Overseer Mackenzie by Jason Darman. Officer Jensen by Josh Bull. O'Neill by Michael Onley. Stay tuned for Episode 4, A Cosmic Knife in the Back. Detective Camry uncovers the true face of Vault 54 as everything isn't as it seems. True Vault Escapades is originally broadcast on the Old World Tunes radio station and mobile app, brought to you by Nobex Technologies. Entire production was written and directed by Preston Hardin. Original cover art by Ali Shellman. Old World Tunes can be accessed on iOS, Android, and BlackBerry devices. Other streaming outlets include the Radionomy website and app, and FalloutFM.playtheradio.com. We now return you to our regular scheduled programming.